I'll just give a little background, you know. Our bus broke down, and as usual, hitchhiking saved me. I got a really nice guy pick me up. I'm getting to Plovdiv really quickly ahead of schedule, and I'm gonna be able to catch my bus to Smolyan with my group. So I mean, like always, hitchhike. That's the way to go. So I just have a quick interview, 3-minute interview about migration. The first thing, just your age, your occupation, and where you're from.
Hi. So my age is I'm 30 years old. I'm from House, but I live in Sofia. And what was the question?
Your occupation.
Occupation. I'm going to get married soon.
Dobre. Perfect. Yeah, that's a good occupation. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
When?
In 2 weeks.
Oh wow, nice.
24th of June.
I see that they're happiness,
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's really great. So my questions are pretty simple. First, do you think Bulgaria should let migrants into this country, and if so, why? Just why in general?
I do think that Bulgaria should permit the migrants to come in the country, because they have issues back there in their own. But they don't like Bulgaria.
So do you think if anyways they're going through the European Union?
Did you heard the news today?
No.
10 illegal immigrants died today because they are stuck in a minivan.
Oh no.
And they got crushed on the highway.
Oh.
So anyway, they come in Bulgaria, but just make it legal.
Just make it legal. So give it a process, right?
Yeah. Because anyway, they're going to get out of the country.
Interesting. So, and you think because anyways they're just passing through, they're going to the EU.
Yeah.
What about immigrants that want to stay? You're okay with them too?
I'm okay with them because I have one colleague of mine which is immigrant from Iraq, Fallujah, and he was a great guy, and he learned Bulgarian in 3 years. And it's a great guy,
Yeah, so by knowing them personally, it helps. Yeah.
Not of them terrorists or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so obviously for refugees, you'd feel the same way.
Of course.
And I mean, a lot of people, they say that, economic, from when I've talked to people, they say economic migrants.
It's good for the economic as well.
Do you think, because what they say is, well, even, I don't think people say this, but I do think they have this implicit idea that that it's threatening the identity. I guess less so in Bulgaria because you guys have less immigrants, but let's say, for example, for France or even Serbia has a good amount of migrants. What do you think about the idea that migrants are threatening, the identity of your country and other country by coming? That they're not the same culture, religion, background.
Their religion is different, of course, and they have to fit to the country they are migrating to, because there are stuff that we are not okay with that. For example, they marry with 12 years old kids.
Yeah.
And this is not okay for the Bulgarians.
So they just have to adjust their...
Yeah, they have to adjust to the country they are migrating to. So it might be Bulgaria, it might be Turkey, it might be Serbia, but again.
Interesting. Okay, so that's an interesting perspective. So they're invited, and
the question, I'm not feeling frustrated for stealing our identity or something like this, but
they just have to get to know the law of the land. Yeah, perfect. So then many Bulgarians do have the opposite perspective, especially in areas like Harmonli, I'd imagine Huskova also, because, and in general, Sofia, everywhere, there's a good amount of Bulgarians that have the opposite perspective. Why do you think they have that perspective, that immigrants shouldn't be migrants, refugees, they're suspicious of them?
There are people and people. Most of the people in Bulgaria don't like the migrants because they don't want to work. They here because we are a social country, like the most Europeans, and they have granted support for a month. So they have the money, they don't want to work, and that's why maybe. And again, in Sofia there are a lot of steals recently.
So do you think maybe that you're talking about fixing the system? Do you think if the system was fixed...
They have to get integrated.
They get integrated, and then it would have just...
You don't have to let them build your own camp
and then maybe people would be less, you know,
yeah, of course.
upset with them.
Once they know the language, once they know our culture, it will be much easier for everyone.
Interesting. So then, beautiful roses, so you can see. Then I have two last questions. First of all, this is the hardest one. EU, Russia, the USA, right? Three, you know.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
The EU, Russia, and the USA. These are, you know, three states or, you know, alliances, you know, super states maybe. Then, so each has their own policy towards migration, you know, especially the EU, you're part of it, so you've experienced that. Which ones do you think have a better policy? Which ones do you think have a worse policy, and why?
First of all, no one wants to go to Russia.
Well, to be fair, I mean, a lot of people tell me that, but right now from Central Asia, a lot of, I mean, I've been to Russia quite often. There's a lot of them, and actually they say Russia's going to be 25% Muslim soon.
Yeah, it is.
So, but yeah, but not from, you know, no one wants to go to Russia.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the EU and the USA, what do you think?
It's kind of different, you know. I'm more to the European way, but there have to be rules. I don't. The thing that I don't like that Europe. Okay, we're good guys, the European Union, and we let immigrants hit here, but there's no integration policy. They build camps, and the migrants create their own cities there with their own rules, and this is not good.
Interesting.
They're migrating their own country here, and I don't think that's the right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm feeling invaded or something.
But there has to be a rule of law, right? There has to be a system in place that's.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, they're moving their life here. They're going to teach their children here in this system and so on. And they have to just a little bit. I'm not saying that they have to forget their culture and so on.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because you've seen both, you know, you've been to both EU and the US, so you understand both societies a little, you know, being at work away for 2 summers.
Just a time out, please. What's the Central Station?
Central Station,
I think it's left on here, but somewhere. Okay, let's finish the interview and
are you sure? You can check now or? Yeah, we'll take a break. I'll take a break. The last question is do you think that in the last 5 years, you know, there was this large migration wave that passed through the Balkans, including Bulgaria? Do you think that has changed your perspective somewhat? You know, in these last 5 years, having this, a lot of politicians talk about you. You know, you're from Haskovo. You know, a lot of migrants pass through that city and stuff, and in general, just how do you think the last 5 years this migration crisis has changed the way you approach it? You approach the question.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
So you think you've always, you know, had this perspective?
Yeah, you know, if it's going to be changed, it's going to be changed to worst. Not so I think I have the same.
You still have the same positive perspective. That's good. A lot of people don't, but that's very nice. Okay, so we'll end the interview here. So thank you. I really owe you, man. First of all, for getting this ride. We're here in Plovdiv. I see. Yep, to the left. I remember now. To the left, and then you'll see it. I'll show you there. So yep, I'm gonna be on time. Perfect. Again, proof that hitchhiking is truly the best method of travel. If you get a car. If not, then yes, take the bus. Thank you.